So we're another round of the Quit Jerking Off initiative. And we're bringing somebody back on for, well, it's got to be the third time around because we keep trying to get this done right. So I'm going to go back, reintroduce all our guys again. Clint Compton, got Floyd Carnes, Joel Moyes. So we did a little bit of an intro in the last episode, or the first episode to be in reality, the first released one. Now we got Mr. Keith Goyen, who's very, very, very good friend of mine. Let's say of all these guys, I've known Keith the longest. Sorry, that's Clint. So I've known Keith the longest, and I think we probably, the earliest memory I have, I know I met you before that, we go to church together, that kind of thing, but earliest memory I have was waking up, after one of the drugs was wearing off in my bed at home, and Keith standing in my room with his wife, talking to my wife, 2008, with a stack of hunting videos. He's like, well, I thought you'd get bored, so he brought me a bunch of hunting videos. And
not where I thought that story was going.
Well, yeah, it didn't head that direction. That was a whole other time. That was when we were actually out hunting. But if you've never watched hunting videos high before, it's an experience. So thanks for coming out, dude. Thanks for trying it again. Third time around. So we're above Jerome. Tomorrow we're all going to be getting on the Jerome Firehouse, learning some rope rescue training, because when we bring guests out with the Jeeps, we want to make sure that everybody that's out here is very well trained to be able to take care of any problem. And Keith has one that's been with me in a lot of scenarios where cliffs are involved, so want to make sure he got that trained too, and he's going to be coming out and driving with us now and again. So bring us back to that day when you came over. And I was laid up, had that motorcycle accident, shattered legs, all that kind of stuff, and I wake up and there you are with Chris. What brought you over?
Well, we knew each other. We'd met, and I kind of felt there was a connection there. Like, I like this guy. There's something about Aaron that. But that was probably 3 or 4 months before you even got in your accident. From what I remember, it was before your accident, some period of time, a couple of months. So then, of course, I'd heard that you'd gotten in an accident. You were seriously hurt, and you were at home, and I said, well, what's he doing? And I think I talked to somebody and said, well, he's basically going to be in his bed, drugged up, with nothing to do for several months. Mm-hmm. It's, I need to go over there and just say hi. I just had this strong feeling that I needed to go see Aaron Chapman. And so my wife and I went over, and I said, you know what? Because I knew you liked the outdoors. I think when we talked a little bit about hunting. I knew you'd done a little bit, but I really didn't know how much. And I thought, you know what? I got all these hunting DVDs and videos. I'm going to take them over there to him. Man, give him something to do. He can watch the hunting videos. So off he went, banged on Aaron's door, went in, saw him. He was laid up in bed, and he was high on something. Yeah. So anyways, I came in there with a stack of DVDs and gave them to Aaron, and that's kind of where our friendship started.
But it started right there, and then it wasn't just like you came by and you brought DVDs to keep me entertained.
No.
It was when I started to walk again, it's like, come on, we're going to the track.
Yeah.
You're gonna start training.
We went to the stairs and started doing some stuff.
Exactly. Introduced me to your trainer. Yep. I started, getting out there doing some stuff. Next thing you know, I'm able to move a lot more. I went out hunting. We went out to, where was that?
Well, that's a pretty good story, because you drew a deer tag. Mm-hmm. So you put in, said, all right, now we're going deer hunting. And now
it's like November 2009.
November 9, yeah, 2009. Now, you're doing pretty good, but there's a lot of pain there. So
it was miserable. It was actually really miserable.
Anyways,
it was cold. It was like we rolled up and like, dude, I gotta go go take care of some business, and then I got out and I checked the little thermometer thing I had. It was 9 degrees.
Yeah, 9
It was
degrees.
freaking 9 degrees up
In the
there.
truck, it was 9 degrees. It was cold. So we get out, and I don't even think about it. All right, I said we're gonna go down this canyon, cross it, go to the other side, and walk this point out because I knew there was some deer in there. So we go down this canyon and get down to the bottom. And I start going this side, and I look. Aaron is kind of back there a little ways. Heck, we gotta keep. It's cold. We don't want to walk too slow. And Aaron finally comes up to me. Doesn't say a word. Doesn't say nothing. And I kind of looked at him. I knew something wasn't quite right. So, but we went up a little bit further up the other side of the canyon. I turned around and looked at him, and I'm freezing. Aaron has got sweat pouring down his face. I'm like, dude, you all right? Yeah. I said, you're sweating. And what it was pain. But he wasn't going to say a word. It hurt so bad that he was actually physically sweating when it was 9 degrees. And I thought, oh man, all right, well, in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I'll make this a little bit shorter than I see, because he'll probably go until he drops. So, anyways, so that was our first hunting experience together.
It was a painful son of a bitch. I
Yeah.
still had rods in the legs and all the
hardware in
the
there.
hardware and the plates and the pins, and man, 9 degrees in your bones. Those things hurt. They
get a deer?
freaking hurt.
Oh,
We didn't get one that year.
No deer?
No.
No.
The closest I got to anything, there was a whitetail buck 900 yards out.
Yeah.
I wasn't taking that shot.
Long ways away.
Yeah, I wasn't taking a 900-yard shot with my 308.
That 300 PRC.
Well, you got it.
Now I'll take that thing.
You got some guns that might do that. They can
Nowadays I'll take that
perform.
shot.
At that time period, we didn't have any guns that performed like that.
Yeah, my 308 would probably do it in the right hands, but not in my hands, not at that time. But nowadays, yeah, I got something that'll take care of that. So that was where it all started. In reality, the relationship I have with Keith, and that one thing I gotta say about this guy is, no matter whatever, if there's an opportunity to go outdoors, no matter what I need, he's there every single time, no matter what. And then I started kind of really looking at that, and we're driving down the road, bouncing down a trail. And I'm looking what's on the dash, and I picked up a kind of a set of binoculars I thought was okay, and I started asking questions about the stuff. I'm like, it's like 10 grand sitting on your dash, dude. What the hell? Like, what does this guy do? You got $10,000 in just optics, right? And so I had to start getting into it and start understanding your business a little bit. So, the golf, I'll just be blunt. I have no idea why. It makes zero sense to me. I'm like, you got all this acreage of, you could probably shoot in some shit. Instead, you're gonna chase around this little ball with guys in goofy freaking clothing. Makes no sense to me. How do people tolerate that? But it's treated you well, and you're out here because of that.
Yeah, it is, and that's what I grew up doing, and went to school and graduated college and played golf collegiately. Tried to play for a living for a few years. Realized real quick I may have had the talent and the ability, but I didn't have what it took between the ears to make it to make a living playing golf. So
take it to what it took between the ears.
Between the ears, I did not have what it took mentally to be on the tour, and probably more emotionally. I was one of these guys that just, it's a tough game, especially when you get to that. It's extremely hard, and I was one of those people that I expected to hit every shot perfect, and it's not a perfect game. Like life, it's not perfect, but I was immature and I didn't realize those things at that time. So I beat myself up a lot and decided, I'm done with this. I was married. My wife couldn't afford to travel with me because I had made it. I had just enough money to get from tournament to tournament and kept making enough to keep going and pay back investors, but I wasn't really making anything. So I gave it 2 years, and then I just decided, you know what, I'm not where I wanted to be. So I gave it up, but I stayed in the golf business because that's all I knew. Now, I got more involved when I decided to quit playing in the construction side and the maintenance side of the golf business. But I realized real quick, after working 3 years as an assistant, that I got my own job on a new project in Gilbert and was a construction superintendent and oversaw the construction of the golf course and everything, and then was a superintendent working for somebody else for 2 or 3 years. I said, I'm not doing this the rest of my life. I'm not working for someone else. I realized fairly quickly that I got to figure out a way to do this myself. So that kind of evolved into me now getting into trying to find a golf course where I was invested in it, that I had a part of it, I had ownership in it, and so that's kind of how I got started in that end of it, owning golf courses. Yeah, we have a golf cart business, my brother and I, and we do anything and everything with golf carts. The rental, wholesale, retail. We do. We actually move. We have the trucks, semis, and stuff to move golf carts for even some of the, the manufacturers. Club Car and Easy Go call us to move product for them because we can move quite a bit of product pretty quickly. So they're just and that when I got involved with my brother drives that business. He's the reason that business is what it is. I was there in the beginning financially and some other things there to help get it going, but he's made it very easy on me with that one. I still have a golf course, and that's where I spend probably most of my time right now. Is with it.
Which is not a lot,
because
you're hunting so damn much.
Yeah, that's right. I got a lot of other things going on now. Which
what do you like managing more, the golf course or the golf cart business?
The golf cart business has kind of turned into a monster, and it's almost, before all this stuff hit with the COVID-19 and the other things that are going on with the economy, we were really looking at expanding it even more. And if that was the case, we were actually entertaining someone on the golf course. At least I was, because I felt my time could be better spent and resources could be better spent with the golf cart business. And it would be,
because it's more scalable, or
that, and long term it was going to be more profitable and be better for me and everybody. That's been put on hold, but that's done very well, and then it's like I said, that part of it's been pretty easy for me because my brother's just done a terrific job. So like I said.
Well, it's something that you stepped away from, but then followed a different path on, has led you to the success you have now, which is good. I mean, because me hanging around you as much as I did kind of led me some directions within my own business to really push a little bit harder. Then I got to meet Joel, then I got to meet Floyd, and I met Clint, and then there's people that have pushed me to do certain things better than what I was doing before. And it's the relationships thing. Everybody talks about, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Well, it's not always that. It's also how you deal with that person too, and what you take from them, and or not even take, really what you learn from them, and what you give back to them. And those things are really what drive it more so than just knowing them. And I can say that the relationship here is more than just know. It's gone. You've given more than I feel that I've ever given to the friendship that we've got. And
I don't think that's the case, because I got kids that know you and will talk to you. They won't talk to me, but that's okay. So one of my sons especially.
Well, you got to have the good uncle syndrome, right?
Yep, you do, and I am so grateful for that. I mean, there's, like I said, that relationship is definitely.
Well, you made it easier when you said you can whoop his ass.
That's right. With my boys, I got no problem. I mean, I used to always tell the teachers, I said, "There's my cell phone number." They're always wrong. You call me. I said, "I'll take care of it."
Yep.
If you can't take them behind the building and take care of it, I'll take care of it.
And my opinion is something changed in children when they stopped whooping our ass. They stopped letting us get our ass whooped on the playground. Because that
you gotta learn those. You gotta learn those lessons.
Season 3, episode 4. Right over corporal punishment.
That's it.
Well, but I mean, I don't know how many times you guys did, but I got taken into the principal's office. I got beat more than once.
I've been spanked, and all that stuff.
Well, I know we had that conversation about the cane in Japan or whatever.
I've been, that's different, but
it doesn't even.
Our parents just that's the way it was. You got your ass whooped.
Dude, I just remember my dad would walk. I would already be quarantined in my room.
Stock in the people that make the wooden spoons.
Because my mom broke the hell out of them all the time.
Yeah, mine was leather paddles with holes in them.
Oh yeah,
that was.
Ours was anything that was within reach.
Yeah. Oh,
just if they could grab it, they just beat you with it. And that's what I think that we're missing.
That's our world problem summed up in 2 minutes.
Well, there's that, and well, everybody talks about the participation trophy, but I think in the participation world, like with you stepped away from the tour, right? Well, if everybody said you're kick ass at the tour, you would have stepped on it, even though it wouldn't have been your superpower. You know, how many people will be out, are doing things they shouldn't be doing right now and not focus on where are they best served?
Well, that
Because they were like,
yeah,
They were like this, exactly.
Right.
Nobody has the balls to tell somebody you suck at it.
but it still comes back. You got to realize that for yourself at some point. And I realized that, you know what, my heart wasn't in it anymore, but I needed to make a change. So, but you get back to the learning hard lessons. When I decided that, you know, I didn't want to work for somebody else. There was a lot of hard lessons that I had to learn because I didn't know what I was doing. I knew I wanted to own a golf course and I wanted to work for myself, and how am I going to get from point A to point Z? There's a lot in between there that I didn't know, and it was basically, you look at people who are successful, and one of the things that always stood out to me was the tenacity. You know, they kept getting the door slammed in their face, and I did, especially when it came to the financial part. I didn't have any money. So now I'm trying to convince people that, hey, I've got this project. You need to be invested in it with me because this thing will make us some money. Now, I kind of knew how to do that, but I had to sell myself, and they had to trust me enough to do that. And I had several of these deals fall through, and I finally had the person, I met the person that said, okay, I believe in what you're doing. Are you going to do what you say you're doing? And I said, absolutely. And in my mind, I said, you know what, if this happens to fail, I will get 6-figure jobs if I have to pay this guy back. And I learned a lot of valuable lessons by going through that. And there was a lot of nights I didn't sleep.
Yeah.
But everybody said there. So those lessons I would have never learned had I not stuck with it, had some tenacity, believed in what I was doing, and found that person that believed in me. And then after that, I did what I said I was going to do. And once that happened the first time, it became easier and easier and easier. And anybody we've ever dealt with, we tell them this is what we're going to do for you, and they're involved with this. That's what you do. And you know what? When you need help, it's real easy to find those resources again because all those people trust you. And trust is a huge thing, at least in my world, because
If you don't have that, you have nothing.
yeah, if you don't have that,
you don't have your name. I call it optionless motivation. I got no other way to like do it other than succeed. I have to find a way to success.
You're not the first athlete we've had on that brought up honoring the commitment. So maybe you hit a little bit more on that.
yeah,
'Cause that's big.
and that was drilled into me. I mean, you know, golf. One of the things is, at least with the sport of golf, it's one of those sports where you better be honorable.
You are the referee.
You are the referee. It's one of the only sports where you'll see guys actually call penalties on themselves. You know, nobody saw it. Nobody would know. But the honorable thing to do is, you know, I set the club down, the ball rolled, it's a penalty. Nobody saw it. And it might have cost that guy, well, on the tour, well, cameras on all these guys all the time, and the cameras are actually picking up stuff that they can't even see. So there was a problem. But before that, guys would call penalty on themselves. Now, were there some that didn't? No. I know there were.
It had to be.
There were. But for the most part,
still a lot to do.
yeah, but that was taught to me by my dad and the people that I was involved with from the very young. That, you know what? Count every shot. You make a mistake, you freaking own it, and you go on.
You can improve if you keep cutting corners. So, right, I've got a guy out in Missouri, Mike French, that's working, he's doing all my rehabs out there. He's got one gear, but he's doing it all perfect. And when he introduced himself, introduced himself as a professional corner installer. I'm like, cool, what is that? He goes, I put all the corners back in everybody else cuts. You know, and he does amazing work on something that guy will never lack for a job because people trust him. Bottom line. There's something about trusting somebody to go out there on their own, do what they do, and know that they have that they're wanting to improve so badly that they're going to count every shot. So if there's anything I can respect that aspect of the game, I still just don't see the point.
Yeah. Well, I don't either anymore, but I'm glad other people do. 'Cause I make a living in it doing it.
No
That's
kidding.
right.
I love the game of golf.
Yeah.
Now, if you can get like
It's a
a
great
big bore shotgun
Yeah.
that you have to at each
Redneck golf.
exactly at each tee, at each yeah, basically I guess it's tee, right? You got to load your crap just right
The beginning
to
of
be
the
able to
hole.
fire it right off to where it's got to go.
If we could figure out a way to do that and mitigate any lawsuits and bodily damage, so that would be awesome.
You
right?
measure your powder. If you're okay, I got this specific powder. I think I'm gonna get this distance.
Yeah.
How many
It's called long
rounds
range-
do I
That's
get?
just called long range shooting.
Which we're gonna do
We do
that
that at Countdown.
Exactly. That's the whole other thing. So we ask everybody one thing, and I'm gonna let Clint ask this of you. We got to know from everybody this one specific thing.
Yeah, what is the worst thing that happened to you that turned out to be the best thing that happened to you?
The worst thing.
Basically, your
It's
best
one
worst
thing.
thing, man.
What's the best worst thing that's ever happened to you?
At
Well-
the time you thought it was the worst, and
Yeah.
it turned out to be a really
You
good.
can't
Well-
say hunting with me that
No,
first time.
yeah,
walked
well,
around
that
the
was
canyon.
pretty bad. But, I won't go there.
Trying to get me motivated to do some exercise.
It probably had to be when I decided to quit playing, because that was tough. I mean, I was gone from my wife, and my whole life. That's what I wanted to do. I just envisioned playing the tour and winning the U.S. Open and the Masters. That's what I've envisioned. That's what I worked for. And remember, because I was in Garden City, Kansas, playing the Kansas Open. And I actually shot 68 the first round. And
That's good, Aaron.
Aaron and I don't know if that's good.
and it is.
Par
It
72.
was actually pretty good. Yeah,
4
it
under
was pretty
par.
good. I
That's
mean,
very good.
I was in the hunt, but to make a pretty good check, I had to play 3 more rounds. But at least first round was good. You can't win the tournament on the first day. You can sure lose it.
But you can sure lose.
So, anyways, I woke up the next morning. I didn't know where I was at. And I'm looking around this motel room, and then it hits me. I said, "Oh, the Garden City, Kansas." I looked at the time. It's 3:30 in the morning. I don't tee off till like noon. I said, "I hate this. I absolutely hate this." Packed up my stuff, threw it in my car, called him out. The guy. I said, "I'm withdrawing." Drove home, went to the bank account. My investors that were invested with me, I split it up 10 ways. I had 10 investors. Gave them their money. Said, "I'm done." Went home and I started working. That was it. I tried to figure out what I was going to do next. That was a difficult drive between Garden City, Kansas, and Mesa, Arizona.
Whether you decide to quit golf or not, that's a hard drive.
That's a hard drive, anyways. Yeah, there ain't a whole lot to look at. So you got a whole lot of time to think. So.
Well,
That was a good golf punt. That was a hard drive.
Yeah.
Come on, Aaron. Well done.
Hey, I can catch up, even though I'm not. No,
You had no idea.
No clue. Well, I appreciate you being willing to share and come back out for like a third round and put some time in with us. I'm looking forward to
Hey, my
tomorrow.
pleasure.
We're going to see some. You see some B-reel on this, on us going out and swinging around in the ropes, hanging from the Jerome Firehouse. It's gonna be cool times, man. I appreciate your friendship and appreciate you
Yeah,
sharing
appreciate
with
you
us
too.
constantly.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks for coming out again, Aaron.
You bet. Thank you guys.